Welcome to Infoborders introduction video. In this video, we'll take a look at the dashboards and reports and their use in providing companies visibility into their supply chain processes. At the heart of Infoborders is the repository of business and syntax rules. Business and syntax rules are grouped together into processes. Events generated by processes, together with other statistical information, comprise the core source of data for Infoborders dashboard. There are several dashboards available within Infoborders: Performance dashboard, Partner scorecards, Syntax events, and Business events. We will take a look and describe the functionality of each of these dashboards separately. Right now we're looking at the Performance dashboard. This dashboard shows us the overall health of the business supply chain. The Performance dashboard has several sections. We are currently looking at the main page. There is also Profile ratings, compliance, and financial impact sections. Some of these sections have other sub-areas to provide further detailed information on the overall supply chain performance. Information presented on the dashboard can be filtered to a group of trading partners. We are calling these groupings profiles. There are three system profiles: all partners, meaning all trading partners available in the system for the users based on their security profile; inbound and outbound profiles, meaning looking only into the inbound or outbound transactions and their partners. You can also define custom profiles, and these profiles can be easily created using and edited using the links found on the right of the drop-off box. Information found on the Performance dashboard, together with other dashboards in the system, can be saved into PDF or HTML files. The data filter provides filtering based on timelines. You can use specific dates range, or it's possible to use preset date ranges provided by the system. Right now we're looking at the Performance dashboard. Here at the top of the page, we see the volume information depicted in a graphical form. We see two lines, green representing documents exchanged during a period of time, and a blue line representing processes generated by the system during the same period of time. As a reminder, processes in Infoborders are a reflection of business processes and are a grouping of business and syntax rules. Below, we see some statistical information about documents and process generated by the system. We can see that there was 2752 documents generated during this time, with only one document, or 0.04%, containing errors. Below we see the number of processes generated during the same period of time, 1755 documents, and we can see that about 47% of these processes contain error. On the right of the statistical information, we see a pie chart showing documents by type or processes by type. Below, there are two more charts. The one on the left shows processes by state and type. Here we can see that almost 50% of the transactions exchanged contains error, and another about 50% are in good state. Yellow or warning represent just a small portion of the overall business processes exchanged. These comprise all business processes in the system and can be filtered to a specific process type. For example, if we want to look at the procure-to-pay processes, we select that from the drop-down menu, and the information is updated accordingly. Now we can see that the majority of procure-to-pay processes contain error. On the right, we see the process history by state. Again, we're looking at the information of the status of the particular process over a period of time. How many processes that have failed, how many are contained warnings, and how many are error-free. Let's take a quick look at the compliance area. On the compliance page, we see the error events generated by the system over a period of time. On the left, we see the syntax errors, and on the right, we see the business errors. Right now, we're looking at the information in a bar chart format. We can also look at the same information using the top 10, bottom 5, or bottom 10 numbers. We'll switch to the top 10. Here we see the same information in a grid. We can see that only one syntax error have taken place during this period of time. Looking graph on the right, we can see that the most common error in the system today is the shipping window missed event, and represents about 76% of overall error events generated in the system, or 810 processes contain this error. Right now, again, we're looking at the information across all business processes, and we can change that filtering to look at a specific process. Let's switch it to the procure to pay process. You can see a slight change in the number of events or the type of events displayed in this dashboard. It is possible to drill down by selecting an icon next to the business event. For example, to see processes where ASN was rejected by the receiving application, we simply select the icon on the left and click on it. Now we see the list of all business processes for a given period of time that contain this particular error. We can further drill down by selecting a specific line and view the details of the business process. Let's get back. Let's take a look at the financial impact tab. Here the information has been grouped, and we see the title of these groupings. We can expand each of this group to reveal the errors that are comprised within that error grouping. We can see here the percentage of errors that found in the system. This information is compiled by assigning a dollar value to each business event. We can see, for example, that the shipping window missed error represents 83% of the processes found in the system, or a financial impact of $118,260. We can further get information on those errors by drilling down using the icon on the left. We will see the similar information that we saw earlier when we drill down from the compliance page. The dollar amounts can be easily changed by the user using the Edit button. By selecting error groups, here we can edit the groupings by adding new events, editing the events, or removing them from a grouping. We can also change the dollar amount by editing the grouping itself and entering the amount, the new amount. Let's take a look at the next dashboard. We'll take a look at the partners scorecards. Here we see a list of 13 partners in our network. For this demonstration, we added two partners, Company X Department 1 and Company X5 Department 2. By selecting the partner of interest, we are able to compare this particular partner to the supply chain. We're looking at a specific date range, and right now we can also specify the companies that we are comparing them against. On the partner scorecard, we are comparing this particular partner performance to the performance of the overall supply chain. On the top left, we see the partner rating. Here we get an understanding how a partner performs on the syntax side and on the process business compliance side. For example, this particular partner, it contains 99.95% accuracy rate when it comes to syntax quality, and is rated number 2 out of 2. Because of the high accuracy, it was given 5 stars. We also can see that in the document volume, it represents 68% of the total amount of transactions exchanged in the supply chain. On the process side, we see that 64.61% of the processes associated with these partners are error-free. 64% assigns the trading partner a 3-star. We can also see in terms of volume that this trading partner represents 80% of the process volume of the whole supply chain network. On the right, we see some statistical information about documents and processes, similar to what we have saw on the process performance dashboard for the overall supply chain. Similarly, on the bottom, we see documents by type and process history by state information specific to this trading partner, but very similar to the information we saw earlier in the overall performance dashboard. The compliance page is very similar to what we saw in the performance dashboard, with the exception the information here is filtered to a specific trading partner. And again, we have the financial impact page with the data specific to this trading partner. For further analysis, Infoborders provides the syntax events and the business events dashboards. Since the two dashboards are very similar in nature, we will take a look at the business events dashboard. Here we see all business events generated by the system. It's possible to filter the errors by type, information, warning, and error, and by date range. In the initial state, this dashboard shows us the overall status of the system and the list of processes that contains the given events. We can analyze the information by selecting an event on the left. For example, we'll select invoice quantity does not match ASN. You will notice that on the right, the list of events changed. The secondary events table now shows events found in one or more processes with invoice quantity does not match ASN error. We can further filter the data by selecting one or more events on the right. For example, I will select order shipped after cancellation date, order shipped after the allowed time, and shipping window missed. You would notice as the changes were made, the graphs depicting the information has been changing also. On the bottom, the partners list has also been adjusted to reflect the information that has been filtered to. The user has the ability now to drill down into individual processes by selecting the process in the list, similarly to what we have done in other areas of the dashboard.